Hey everyone, happy Monday and welcome to another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So today was a Monday and today was worse than my last Monday. Couple reasons. Before I get to that, I'll just say that I started the day off by, long story short, I haven't had eye insurance for a while, and I've been kind of nursing these contact lenses that I have, which are extended wear, like you're supposed to wear them for like a year, 6 months to a year. Been kind of nursing those along for honestly probably like a few years now, and taking good care of them, but they're still kind of get wear and tear, so to speak. Literally had one more contact lens just per eye, no spares, no nothing. And this morning, trying to gently rub one between my fingers to clean it up a little bit, it actually tore. So now I literally have one contact lens in one eye, and my vision is pretty bad. Those of you that know anything about prescriptions, mine is minus 10, actually a little bit worse than minus 10, maybe minus 10 and a half or something like that. I don't know. So now I'm going around with one contact lens in. I can see out of one eye, not the other. So that was the start of my day. And then let's get to this one here. So the owner showed up, super happy to get his car, and got the car, and he left, and he literally made it like 2 blocks and started smelling something burning, and then he actually had some smoke coming from his dash cluster, which we have now removed. And so quickly shut the car off and got it into a parking lot. And so I came and we brought the car back down to the shop and opened up the, you can see the cluster right there. It's on this aluminum thing. Somehow it must have come loose in there or something. I'm not sure what, because I put quite a few miles on this car. I drove this car a lot, was not concerned about anything on it, and literally he drove like 2 blocks, and whatever shorted out, and smoked some wires. So we brought it back, and we're pretty much going to rewire the whole cluster up in there. So we'll take care of it. It's just one of those things, like pretty unbelievable. Like I said, I drove this car a lot. I usually drive cars. I don't put 100 miles on them or anything, but I take them on a lot of short spins, and cars that are ready to go. Usually we move them out of the shop during the day, so I drive them twice a day, even, just in and out of the shop. I mean, I must have started this car 100 times and driven it many, many times. And yeah, I don't know what happened, but something shorted out. I think what shorted out was I think it was a wire that was hot when the key is on. And I think what happened is, with this setup here, that whole metal plate ends up being grounded that all the gauges mount on, because the speedometer itself needs a ground, and you need to get grounds for other stuff there. So I think a hot wire, I don't know how, but I think it ended up grounding against the dash there itself, and pretty much apparently an unfused wire, and it just smoked a bunch of wires. So yeah, off to a great start here today. But we're going to rewire it, and we're going to try and have it finished up maybe tomorrow or so, get the car to him. Very disappointed for him, because I know he was excited to get it. But I'm glad it wasn't worse. It certainly could have been worse, but yeah, it just goes to show you, it's things can happen. So so that was that. So this car is also still here, if you may notice, and this car was gonna leave on Saturday, and the owner and his wife came, and I took the car for a quick drive first, and then let him drive. And one thing that I warned him about with this car, and I said, look, don't hesitate to tell me if you're not happy with this, was his steering box is a bit on the loose side. It's a steering box that came in the car. And to me, it was okay, but on the marginal side of okay. And he wasn't really comfortable with it. And I said, dude, please, if you're not comfortable with it, tell me. And so thankfully he spoke up and he said, yeah, you know what, to me this feels like too much play, and I think I would have a hard time getting used to it. So that's totally fair. I probably should have just replaced it in the first place because, again, it was kind of marginal. But anyway, he was cool about it, and I said, you know what, let me just keep the car. I'm going to swap a new steering box in it, and I'll have it to him midweek. So not a big deal, but yeah, it, sometimes happens. We pretty much have our hands on every nut and bolt of these cars, and sometimes there's little details like that it kind of a matter of opinion what people are used to or something. I personally would have drove it like that and not really thought too much about it, but for him it was a bit much, and he hasn't driven a Volkswagen in a really long time. He's used to modern cars, and so driving this car in that context of being used to modern cars, I could see where having some play in the steering would feel pretty weird to him, because he literally hadn't driven a VW. I asked him and he said since like 87. So he's definitely not used to how these things drive and the fact that you have to really drive them to drive them. But that having been said, yeah, steering box had some play in it, and so we're going to take care of that. So super cool guy though, the customer, very, very, chill about it. And he's like, yeah, I just fix it, and he'll come get it later this week. So there you go. But the good news for you guys who love this car is you get to see it a few more days. So that's kind of cool, I guess. We've got a little space right now. Likewise, the blue buggy, get to see it a couple more days too, because they are both gorgeous. And again, we want to make sure our customers are 100% happy with their toys. So Rafa worked on starting to rewire the dash of this one in the afternoon. In the morning, what he did was he put in all 6 pop-out windows. So on these buses, the 3 front side windows are pop-outs, and then the 2 rear ones, so this one and the one opposite that, are fixed. So he put in the 6 pop-outs today. And then also we put in the skylights on this side. So there you go. So this bus has at least all of its windows up to the door. So we still have to assemble his door windows and put those in, and then put in his front windows. But yeah, all the other windows in the bus sort of from here back are all in now. So pretty good milestone there for this one. As you can see, also, we moved stuff around quite a bit this morning. The red buggy, it had front tires on it already, as making it a roller. So we threw some back ones on it and moved it out of the shop temporarily so we could move some other things around. So we sort of swapped these two. So the Devil bus is kind of shoved over here in the corner now while we wait to get its motor back. And then the mouse grays here with some room now to work on it on this side, which before it was very close to the wall over here. So yeah, I kind of moved some things around this morning, making space to be able to work on projects that are going to kind of sit for a while, like that one, kind of put back there in the corner. So that was pretty much Rafa's day. I did manage to get a little bit of work done today in amongst all of the sort of chaos that was going on. And so what I did on this beauty was I installed both front door handles, and I also installed his front door seals, which I had bought previously and just hadn't got around to putting those in. But listen to this. So good. Sounds like a modern car. That's actually one thing I like about later Volkswagens. Usually I'm kind of an earlier Volkswagen guy, but the later cars, Beetles too, they just sound more solid than earlier cars. And I guess, they just got heavier and sort of more well built as the years go on. And I think one place you can really kind of tell that is when you close the doors. Later cars just have this super solid thud that earlier ones don't. But anyway, so yeah, his front door handles went on, his seals went on, and then the other thing that I did was I went ahead and installed those panels back here, which we got from Octavio. So I talked about maybe making some out of like a thick fiberboard, but we went ahead and just installed these. They're already painted pretty much the right color ish. So just not to delay things, this guy's wanting us to finish up his bus. I just went ahead and installed those. I just had to drill some new holes in the mounting sort of frame of the body there, and they went right in with put some weather strip on them so they're not, like rattly or whatever. Sounds like a drum. So yeah, those are in, and then went ahead and put the rear bottom seat stand back in. So at this point, the back seat is pretty much ready to go in here. What else? I did place an order today for all the little things that were missing. The little chrome surround that goes here, the little black plastic finger guard that kind of goes in there, window winders, all that stuff. So the grab handles here that you open or close the door by. So yeah, all that stuff's on order. So probably tomorrow we can go ahead and finish all the interior on this car. They're making the kick panels right now. The owner said, you know what, don't even worry about the stereo or the speakers for now. I guess he's trying to help us sort of expedite this. And so he can take it to his stereo guy down the road or whatever and have them install speakers. So at this point, the kick panels are just going to go in sort of plain, if you will, with no speakers on them. And then we don't have to bother taking out these panels back here and figuring out how to mount speakers in them. So it'll definitely help expedite the process here. So yeah, this car may have its interior completed tomorrow. I saw that the seal for the front window and the trim for it shipped today from locally. So I should have that tomorrow. And I did pick up his windshield on Saturday. So this thing may have a windshield tomorrow and full interior. And so coming up with this one is pretty much going to be driving it for one. And then, yeah, gas cap, filler door, bumpers, deck lid. That's about it. Got to charge up his air conditioning system. And yeah, getting super close on this one. So that's pretty exciting. I believe that is it for today, guys. So thank you everyone for watching. And I guess we will see you again tomorrow. Bye.